Construction on the Aurora line amps up, and that means detours and even some closures.
So make safety your top priority in those work zones, because as Jenny Castor shows us, your life and hundreds of others depend on it.
There are lots of trucks, signs, crews, and activity throughout all of Aurora.
We're working on a widening right here to facilitate building the Sand Creek flyover bridge.
It's exciting and good for our growing transportation needs, but watch out for the added dangers, especially to those who call this their work office.
What scares me the most working around live traffic is the unpredictability of public drivers.
It is scary.
Who knows what's going to happen?
These zones change daily. Your undivided attention is critical. Lanes switch, trucks enter, and the signs can be a bit confusing. Here's a classic example during this interview while cameras were rolling.
Our biggest concern he's going down the wrong lane.
This is something that workers say happens every day.
They just plain don't pay attention.
And it can get a whole lot worse.
Out on Interstate 225, for example, the travel speeds are a lot higher than they are here on Peoria.
If somebody doesn't see you and comes crashing in 60 miles an hour, it's going to do a lot of damage.
It's just that serious, and paying attention is that much more important.
There's a lot of roads that are all chopped up and being worked on, and they do cause a lot of crashes for us. And we've had some pretty serious crashes in the construction zones. Fines
are doubled, and they mean it.
We would much rather write a ticket than go and pick up the remains from a traffic crash.
The signs, the cones, the barriers are meant to help you and to protect workers. And here's a really helpful tip.
If you look at these vehicles and we see our chevrons there, they're pointing down to that lane, and those guys are actually traveling in the correct lane.
That's right. The markings are pointing drivers to the safe travel lane. From cars to bikers and joggers, stay out and stay safe.
And on my badges, my wife Maria and my daughter Cassandra, our workers are like family to us. And the worst thing you can ever hear is someone being injured or a fatality on a job.
There is an important theme at every site. Work safely and make it home to your family.
That's my wife, Sophia.
It's a message the Kiewit Communications team shares daily.
As you can see, there's a lot of activity going on over here, so it's also very important to watch for our workers, be very vigilant as you're driving.
A quick safety tour highlights the dangers in busy construction zones.
And if you're just glancing at your phone or you're glancing at the radio just for a second, you could easily hit a cone really quickly or dive into a work zone.
Every construction worker that we spoke to said that the danger increases significantly once the sun sets, and it's easy to see why.
You generally have more people on the road that are in a hurry, perhaps under the influence of something. Not to mention, it's just much harder to see.
So night or day.
And everybody just has to watch out for everybody else.
Please remember the next time you're driving through any construction zone, slow down and be very aware. Guaranteed, one of these family members will thank you.
Once again, Hunter Sidnor is the Public Information Officer for the I-225 contractor at Kiewit. Good to have you here again.
Thanks.
Tell us, there's been a lot of serious accidents in the area. What kind of impact does that have on your crews?
Well, needless to say, our crews, it is a little scary to work that close to live traffic, and so they really have to be careful and watch what's going on around them. But not only is it that, but when people come into our construction area, they can damage the work that we're working on. We had someone drive in onto the wet concrete. Well, that means we have to stop, redo it, take it out. Time is money all the way around, and not to mention that we want our workers to be safe and the drivers to be safe.
Sure. The detours and closures are constantly changing. How can we maybe be on top of that as drivers?
Well, we have a lot of tools out there that we tell people where the work is going to happen, so they know they can pay extra special attention to their driving. The website, rtd-fasttracks.com, has the construction information. You can sign up there to get a weekly update. We send out an email every Friday afternoon. We also have a hotline where you can call and get it over the telephone if that's the best way for you. 720-863-8505. So we try to provide a lot of different ways for people to get information. It's also on the City of Aurora's website.
Okay. Can you tell us what to expect in the months ahead?
Well, you know, we work summer, winter, all the time,
That's
rain,
right.
snow. So there'll still be a lot of activity, and it's pretty much throughout the quarter. A lot of things at Colfax, a lot of things at Peoria and Fitzsimmons, Mississippi, Iliff, Abilene, Exposition, everywhere. So be careful.
You guys do incredible work.
It's a great tip on those chevron signs too, pointing to the lane you should be in.
Who
Never
knew?
heard of that, did not know that, but now I'm going to watch for that. That's very good to know.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Good stuff.
Hunter Sidnor from Kiewit Infrastructure Company. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Hunter.
Construction on the light rail train known as the Aurora line has been rolling along, and now it's kicking into even higher gear. We are at the halfway point in the project, and the next phase will turn a lot of heads. Here's producer Jenny Castor.
2015 is really when you're going to see the light rail come together.
Yes, this sign says it all.
There's going to be activity everywhere.
Aurora is going to be very busy this year.
And you got track and system just coming right behind us.
Kiewit Civil Field Engineer Courtney O'Connor knows this is the exciting part of the RTD project for all of us.
Finally starting to see where you can actually put a train on the tracks.
Let's join her for a visit to some of the busiest spots. First stop, Iliff Station, where a lot of work has already been done.
Iliff Station is the first station that we started out of 8 of the stations, and it's starting to get near completion. This would be where you would board. So this is the exact same rail that you guys saw last year being welded together.
That was 10 months ago. Now the finishing touches are being added.
Behind me I have the ballast cars, and the ballast is just the rock that you see around the tracks and the ties.
And power for the trains is on its way through wire like this.
So we're currently starting to hang our messenger wire, and the messenger wire holds onto the contact wire, and the contact wire is what delivers the energy to drive the light rail.
Next stop, the heart of Aurora's city center.
Behind me we have Center Point and Sable intersection.
Here a lot of work is underway to upgrade and enhance utilities, including stormwater drainage, before the first light rail track can even be set. Drive by and you'll see some impressive work.
This is the 108-inch pipe that's going to go along Sable. What I'm standing in is the big reason why we have all the closures that we do. This isn't a small piece of pipe. I can't even touch the top or the sides. To put this in, we need a lot of room. Each one of these pieces is 33,400 pounds.
This scope of work will require detours for our safety.
The Sable all the way from Expo to Alameda is going to be shut down for all the work that we have.
It's this area that's going to bring some of the biggest change to Aurora's landscape.
And I'm standing right about where the new train is going to go for the light rail. Right over here on my right is Sable, and this is pretty close to where the new train is going to be right here on my left, running up on the east side of Sable.
The Aurora line will travel next to traffic, and at times through the center of Exposition Avenue. It's a design that takes some detailed planning and construction.
It's going to be a little bit chaotic, but we're going to manage it with different lane closures and making sure we're keeping the public safe.
Next stop, near the future Peoria station. Major bridge work is underway as the Sand Creek Flyover Bridge prepares to cross over busy Peoria Street.
Well, currently we're working on the columns and caps, and in the next 2 months we're going to be setting girders. We're going to have full closures at night, some northbound and southbound.
This year is going to be impressive. We'll keep you updated along the way. For Aurora News Weekly, I'm Jenny Castor.
Gabby Johnson is going to help keep us updated as well. She's the Public Information Officer for the I-225 contractor Kiewit. There is so much stuff going on. It's
so
exciting.
much going on, totally.
What's the best way for drivers to really stay on top of all of this?
I would say our best communication outlet is definitely our weekly construction updates that we send. So we suggest everyone go to our website, rtd-fasttracks.com, and if you click on the 225 light rail tab there, it will take you to where you can sign up for these updates and get more detailed information. And also on these weekly updates, it gives you links to see detour maps and further information. And we just really encourage everyone to pay attention to signage when you're driving out there as well.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on those
Definitely.
weekly updates for sure.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the big closures that are coming up?
Yeah. So as Courtney said in the video, 2015 is a huge year for us. We have a lot to get done, and with that comes a lot of lane restrictions, a lot of full closures. So currently, as you saw in the video, Center Point is closed for utility work, and then we will be closing Sable fully both directions in the next couple of weeks, and that will be from Exposition all the way up to Alameda for additional utility work there. And then another big closure is on Abilene between 2nd and Ellsworth. So that's coming up in a couple of weeks as well. And then, you know, there's just going to be various intersection closures, and because the track will have to cross at grade through a lot of the intersections, so we will have to close those down eventually to install the track and do additional work there. So
how do you handle parking at the iLift station? What's the plan?
Yeah, so there's another contractor who will be building that parking structure, and it will eventually hold 600 spaces, so it will be great for that station.
What would you say is the most exciting thing coming up this year?
I mean, for me, this is my first light rail job, so it's very exciting to see the progress and, you know, just really seeing the transformation of the guideway itself and seeing the track installed and seeing the overhead catenary poles up is really cool to see, and I'm proud to be a part of such an important transportation project through the city. So
much of the construction has been kind of hidden, you know, underground and behind the scenes kind of stuff. So now we're really getting to see.
Yeah,
it's more visual.
Getting
seeing
a full
it come
grasp.
together.
Definitely.
Very cool. All right, thank you so much, Gabby,
Thank
for
you.
joining us. Again, you can find everything you need to know about the entire Fast Tracks project by going to Aurora's website, auroragov.org. Just click on the light rail icon at the bottom of the homepage. Excitement is building. Each week we get closer to completing the new Aurora light rail line, and security is a big part of that.
It is. Soon many eyes will be watching us for our safety 24 hours a day. Producer Jenny Kasser takes us inside RTD's top secret command center.
They are here, there, and everywhere. Cameras. Currently, 2,400 of them are live along the RTD light rail system.
The mission of our division is to keep the 400,000 people every day we carry safe and secure.
And more are on the way.
Your system coming up on I-225 and then the commuter rail together will bring us another 1,000 cameras in this room.
This room, with all of its high-tech gadgets, is the heart of safety for RTD.
We're inside the Security Command Center.
Monitors with high-def images line the wall, dozens of them, with zoom and pan capabilities that would make any criminal nervous.
Almost a quarter mile away.
There are even a few infrared cameras.
So we can see everything the same day or night.
Here, high def leads to lower crime. And these video feeds are shared with local law enforcement teams, including our Aurora Police Department.
Out of this command center, right now we're averaging 26,000 calls for service a month.
Getting connected is easy.
When you push the emergency phone button, you actually talk to the people in this room.
Phones on platforms, in parking lots, and in elevators connect you within seconds. And the cameras lock in for a better view.
And last year we saved 7 people having heart attacks.
The team here looks for much more than criminal acts. They look for passengers who need any kind of help.
Those 7 people pushed the emergency phone on a platform. The camera turned to see what was going on first. And then the officers working in this room dispatched EMS to them immediately without having to slow anything down. And we saved their lives.
Transit Police Chief John Tarbert's team is made up of 6 internal transit police officers, 130 armed security officers, and off-duty police officers from Lakewood, Denver, and here in Aurora. Many are undercover.
We find a lot of bad people.
And check this out. This is RTD's new Transit Watch app for smartphones. Reporting situations has never been easier. With just a few clicks, I can send all kinds of detailed information to the command center.
You can take pictures, describe the incident, you can remain anonymous, and submit it within 5 seconds to this command center.
Between the RTD security team and involvement from all of us, the new Aurora line will be not only interactive, but secure.
The message to the criminals, if you do something wrong on RTD property, we're gonna see you.
And the message for all of us?
be proactive and tell us when something is wrong because we want to get it solved and help.
You can feel confident this team is working hard to keep us safe. For Aurora News Weekly, I'm Jenny Castor.
Really good information. Hopefully that gets passed around so people, if they were
But it's
thinking about
comforting to
doing
know
something,
that they're watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really,
it's
really
great.
is.